Men, here's the uncomfortable truth. After 35, the lightning bolt chemistry you were taught to chase can be the exact signal that burns you later. And the calmer, steadier connection, the one you almost dismiss as no spark, might be the safe, long-lasting match your nervous system no longer recognizes as exciting. That stings. Beat. But if you get this, you stop wasting years on chaos and start building a real life with someone who actually fits you. Quick note before we go further. We're discussing behaviors in unhealthy dynamics, not generalizing to everyone. Use this to spot patterns, set better boundaries, and choose healthy relationships. Here's the stakes. Pick wrong, and your 40s become a highlight reel of almosts. Intense starts, crash landings, stale situationships, recovering confidence, rinse and repeat. Pick right. And the next decade becomes calmer, richer, and more attractive, because you stop leaking attention into drama and you start investing into a relationship that compounds. So why does chemistry feel different after 35? Your brain's prediction engine starts weighting signals differently. Think of chemistry as a three-part model: novelty, dopamine, safety, attachment, and shared rhythm, how your lives actually sync day to day. In your 20s, novelty wins. In your mid-30s and beyond, safety and rhythm come forward, even if your appetite is still telling you, give me the fireworks. Research suggests that as responsibilities grow and life stress maps onto your body, your nervous system becomes less tolerant of chaos and more hungry for calm, even if your habits haven't caught up yet. Let me show you how this plays out in real life. Alex, 37, fresh out of an 8-year relationship, meets someone who gives him that hit. First date, late-night tequila, loud rooftop, 2 hours of magnetic eye contact. He calls it chemistry. What he misses is the subtext: constant phone checking, a little triangulation about other people in their inbox, plans that never quite land. The intensity starts strong, then gets unpredictable. He keeps chasing the high because the tension feels like passion. 3 months later, he's sleeping less, performing worse at work, and rationalizing behavior he would have called disrespectful a year ago. What he felt as chemistry was his attachment history and novelty bias lighting up at the same time. It felt like fate. It was a loop. Now notice what happens when that loop meets your current life load. After 35, most men run on more stress, more screens, and less sleep than they admit. Your baseline dopamine, the stuff that makes novelty feel vivid, adapts to constant micro-hits from phones, news, games, even productivity sprints. So it takes more extreme stimulation to feel that same spark. Meanwhile, when you sit across from someone grounded, warm, and respectful, your nervous system quietly relaxes, and your mind mislabels it as boredom because there's no anxiety spike. That's the first pattern: confusing calm for no chemistry and anxiety for attraction. Another pattern that flies under the radar: the bandwidth filter. When your body is running hot, high cortisol, low sleep, too much caffeine, your perception of chemistry shifts. Research suggests stress narrows your social attention and primes you to scan for risk. Translation: you're more drawn to dramatic signals because they cut through the fog, and you undervalue subtler compatibility cues. So the person who's genuinely good for you doesn't register as strongly. Not because they're wrong for you, but because you're running on fumes. Here's where most men get blindsided: the app effect. When your dating life lives on a phone, your brain gets conditioned to chase the next packaged novelty. Perfect angles, witty bios, algorithmic validation. That high creates a contrast effect. Real life, awkward pauses, softer voices, small misreads can feel underwhelming compared to engineered dopamine. If you don't account for this contrast, you'll keep saying no spark to people you'd actually love 3 months in, and instant chemistry, to a highlight reel that doesn't hold up. Hold that thought, because the real test shows up in your day-to-day rhythm. After 35, chemistry is no longer just the moment you meet. It's how your calendars, obligations, values, and energy cycles mesh. Some partners will be perfect weekend fireworks, but weekday friction. They're spontaneous when you need structure, unavailable when you're planning, or they live in a different season of life: new grad school grind, caregiving, kids' schedules, so every plan feels like rowing against a current. You'll call it, we lost the spark. Reality, the rhythm never existed. Chemistry is partly logistical, there's also the attachment echo. If you grew up learning that love is earned by chasing, or that conflict equals aliveness, your system may only register romance when there's tension. If your last breakup was sudden or blindsiding, you may unconsciously prefer people who are hard to read because it feels familiar. That familiarity gets mislabeled as attraction. It's not women or this or that. It's your nervous system trying to resolve an old story by repeating it. And yes, there's the biology. For many men, testosterone trends down slowly, often around 1% per year from your 30s, though it varies widely. That can affect libido, mood, and drive. Add stress, alcohol, erratic sleep, and you get flatness where you used to feel buzzed. On the flip side, calmer nervous systems bond deeper. Oxytocin release from trust, laughter, and physical affection hits differently. Your system wants something sturdier, your habits want the hit. That tension is why chemistry feels different. Let's ground it with another real story. Marcus, 41, founder energy, 5 hours of sleep on a good night. He keeps matching with high-intensity personalities because the banter pops. He goes on a date with a woman who's warm, organized, and kind. He leaves thinking, nice, but no spark. 2 weeks later, after a brutal work sprint, he grabs tea with her again, this time midday, no alcohol, a walk after. He notices he's breathing slower around her. She asks real questions and actually listens. On date 3, they cook at home. No fireworks, just ease. He realizes his version of spark was tied to adrenaline, not attraction. He calibrates, better sleep, less alcohol, fewer late-night swipes. Suddenly, the calm feels good, not dull. Today, he calls that feeling quiet green flag. He had to train his nervous system to recognize it. Which brings us to the part nobody tells you. People will use vague language to describe chemistry, and you need to decode it without cynicism. Hold that thought, because in part 2, we're going to translate those phrases word for word. Show you how to verify what they mean, and hand you the scripts that keep you out of situationships and in your lane. Tap part 2 when you're ready. Pause. If you're here, you already get the thesis. After 35, fireworks can be a red herring, and calm can be a green flag. Now let's decode the language, tighten your filter, and make this practical. Quick reminder before we continue. We're discussing behaviors in unhealthy dynamics, not generalizing to everyone. Use this to spot patterns, set better boundaries, and choose healthy relationships. Translation time. They say, I just didn't feel the spark. Could mean, I chase intensity, and calm reads as dull to me, or our logistics and values didn't line up. Verify by asking, what does spark look like for you 3 months in? Respond with, appreciate the honesty. I'm looking for mutual enthusiasm and a calm connection that grows. If that's not your lane, no hard feelings. They say, I'm not ready for something serious right now. Could mean, I like the attention, not the responsibility. Or, I'm recovering from something. Verify by, what would ready look like for you? Time frame helps me plan my life. Respond with, I move with clarity. If you become available for a consistent, intentional connection, reach out. I'll be living. They say, let's just see where it goes. Could mean, I'm hedging, or I'm unsure but want access. Verify by, what does C look like? Once-a-week dates and planning ahead or last-minute hangs. Respond with, I'm up for seeing where it goes with shared effort. If that's not the vibe, I'll step back respectfully. Notice the pattern? Calm clarity will scare off people who trade in ambiguity. That's not a loss. That's your filter working. Now, why does this reframing actually work? Because chemistry isn't only a feeling, it's a prediction. Your brain is constantly asking, is this person safe? Are we a status match? Do our rhythms reduce or increase my stress? In your 20s, you can tolerate more risk. After 35, the cost of misalignment is higher. Sleep, performance, finances, mental health. So your system demands clearer signals. The quiet, yes, you can trust, beats the loud maybe that drains you. The science here is cautious, but commonly observed patterns align. People report higher relationship satisfaction when early dating includes consistent behavior, shared routines, and low chaos, especially in later decades. Let's make this practical. The first move is to separate calm chemistry from dead chemistry. Calm chemistry is steadiness with a felt pull to invest. You look forward to seeing them. Conversations deepen, your body relaxes, and affection grows. Dead chemistry is polite boredom. The conversation feels effortful, affection feels forced. Your mind wanders. The difference is subtle on date 1 and obvious by date 3, if you test in the right environments. So design your tests. If your first date is high stimulation, a bar, late night, alcohol, make the second one low stimulation, afternoon coffee, museum, a walk, groceries, and cook. Your nervous system will tell you more in calm environments. If you still feel nothing by date 3 with variety, that's data. Respect it. Don't force it out of scarcity. If you're the guy who keeps slipping into situationships because the intensity is addictive, you need a boundary line you can copy, paste, and say calmly. Use this. I'm looking for a relationship with mutual effort and real time. If you're not in that lane, I won't hold a spot. Or this. I don't do in between. If we're aligned on values and pace, I'm in. If not, I'll wish you well. And if you've realized you read dismissing good partners as no spark because your life is too loud, set a 30-day reset. 8 hours of sleep, 5 nights a week, 0 late-night swiping, lower caffeine, and exercise that calms rather than spikes. Think walking strength breathwork. You will be shocked how different people feel when you aren't running on a thrill deficit. One more story to bring it home. Ethan, 35 engineer, good guy, always thinking he's too logical for the dating world. He meets Jenna at a friend's dinner. Night of, she's quiet, not his usual lightning. He almost forgets to text. He remembers a simple rule, 3 contexts before conclusions, coffee on a Sunday, then a grocery run and cook, then a small concert. He notices his body doesn't tense up around her. He sleeps great after their dates. She's consistent, no push-pull, no tests. He uses a clear line early. I'm looking for something that grows steadily. If that fits, I'd like to plan weekly. She says yes. The slow burn turns into a calm fire. A year later, they're choosing a city together. He didn't need more game. He needed a better filter. Here's a short checklist you can use this week to recalibrate your chemistry compass. Run the calm test. After 2 dates, ask your body, not your ego. Do I breathe easier around them? Vary the context. 1 high stim, 1 low stim, 1 practical activity. If there's still nothing by date 3, release respectfully. Watch for consistency over charm. Track kept plans, follow through, emotional steadiness. That's chemistry for grown men. And pause, ambiguity. If messaging is sporadic or vague, name your lane and step back if it doesn't match. Reduce contrast, cut late-night swipes, alcohol on dates, and overstimulation for 2 weeks to feel normal chemistry. Align rhythms early. Ask about schedules, relationship pacing, and logistics by date 2 so you don't confuse friction for no spark. If you need language to keep it clean and respectful, here are 2 more scripts you can use right now. You seem great. I move toward clarity, not chaos. If we're both up for weekly dates and planning ahead, I'm in. If not, I'll let this go. I like where this is going. If you're interested in building something steadily, let's set a regular time. If you prefer casual, we're not a match. Let's quickly address a myth. If we're meant to be, the spark will be instant. Sometimes yes. More often after 35, instant spark is an edge case or a trigger. Slow burn chemistry is not settling. It's what happens when attraction grows alongside trust and fit. You aren't lowering your standards by choosing calm. You're raising them by including your future self in the decision. But don't twist this into staying where nothing is there. If your body is neutral or closed after 3 varied dates, move on kindly. If attraction doesn't grow after healthy touch and shared novelty, it probably won't. Calm is not an excuse for zero magnetism. It's a signpost that magnetism and safety can coexist. Also, watch how your own life setup may be sabotaging chemistry. If you're living in scarcity, lonely apartment, little sunlight, junk sleep, no hobbies, you'll lean on the relationship to provide all your aliveness, which will push you toward dramatic partners. Build a life that supplies 70% of your stimulation, so you can pick a partner for compatibility, not chaos. Some partners in unhealthy dynamics will try to sell you on a story. Real relationships are hard from day one, or, if it's not messy, it's not real. Reality. Real relationships are work, but early dating should be mostly easy and clear. Good tension is growth, learning, adjusting, being seen, not guessing, chasing, or being tested. If you're unsure whether you're addicted to chaos or just discerning, try this experiment. For the next 3 dates with anyone, don't drink, don't stay out late, don't flirt over text for hours. Meet in the day. Ask simple, direct questions about pace, values, and logistics. Then take notes after each date about how your body felt, how consistent they were, and whether you want to invest. Boring? Maybe. Effective? Absolutely. Lower. And you'll still have plenty of romance left when it actually fits. A word on physical chemistry. Yes, physical attraction matters, but after 35, desire tends to track emotional safety and respect more tightly. If you've ever had your desire implode after being disrespected, you've felt it. For many men, consistent affection, encouragement, and shared goals increase attraction. That's not settling. That's your nervous system rewarding what keeps you alive and effective. There's also timing humility. Good people in different seasons may not fit right now. If someone says they're not ready, believe them. If someone shows inconsistent effort, believe that too. You don't need to punish or save anyone, you need to match seasons. If you want a single sentence to frame this whole conversation, try this. As you mature, chemistry is less, who makes me feel the most, and more, who can I build the most with? That shift doesn't kill romance, it makes it sustainable. So, what do you do tonight? Audit your last 3 dating experiences. Were you chasing intensity or choosing alignment? Did you feel safer, smarter, and more energized after spending time, or more confused and drained? Be honest. Then, adjust your variables: sleep, stimulation, context, and boundaries. Watch how your sense of chemistry evolves when you're not tired and flooded. There's an identity upgrade waiting for you in all of this. You are not the guy who needs fireworks to feel alive. You're the man who can recognize calm as a leading indicator of depth. You're not too logical, you're intentional. And intention is attractive when it's paired with warmth and play. Keep your standards, tighten your filter. Let your life, not your loneliness, choose your partner. If you've been stuck in the almosts, here's the ultimatum, with love. For the next 60 days, no situationships, no fuzzy labels, no chasing anxiety. 3-date variety rule, then decide. If it's a no, exit kindly. If it's a yes, invest fully and observe consistency. In 2 months, your dating life will look different, because you will. Remember the early surge of attention we talked about, the one that flipped into unpredictability for Alex? Don't let that be your story. And remember Marcus noticing his breath slow? That's your compass. Follow it. And if you stumble, use the language you've heard today. It's okay to be direct. Calm attracts calm. If this landed for you and you want more clear, psychology-backed tools for modern dating, hit subscribe. New videos every week to sharpen your instincts and build the relationship you actually want. I'll see you in the next one.